rough and so glorious, you could say it's bittersweet. The girl doesn't see what's looming down the road, thinks that excess bag is such a heavy load. I can see it in her eyes, she thinks I need a guide, but I'll get to where I'm going in good time.
They came out here and they went right in here between this table and that restricted area sign. And they went in there and they cleaned off, skimmed off the top 14 to 16 inches. Topsoil. They don't expect to find artifacts in the topsoil.
Oh, wow.
So after they got that 14 to 16 inches stockpiled over to the side, then they come back and they punch that old shovel down deep, 2.5 feet down.
Yeah.
Every time they come up with a shovel full of that dirt, they dump it on that screen right there. See that screen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the original one they used in 2001.
Yeah.
After they have 3 or 4 shovelfuls on there, then they climb out of that bobcat and go over and screen through it to try to find the artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there. To make a long story short, in 4 months they found over 30 boxes of artifacts like this.
Cool.
Wow.
The oldest artifact in here dates back to 6000 BC.
30 boxes. Wow.
The youngest one is 500 BC, so the average date in here is 2,000 to 3,000 BC. And I hear a lot of people saying, that's some pretty arrowheads.
Mm-hmm.
But these aren't arrowheads. Have any idea why they're not arrowheads?
Are they knives?
Because are these the ones that they flung with they had the rope on them?
Yeah, they did, but they're not arrowheads because there was no bow and arrow in
Spears,
2000
maybe?
BC. You're right. they're
Spears?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was no bow and arrow in 2000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
The bow and arrow came to Texas around 400 AD.
A lot later.
Prehistoric stuff.
Oh,
Spears,
wow.
You're right. They're spear points.
Yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
anyway, after they found about 30 boxes of this, now they've got our attention. I think those boys know what they're talking about, so I want to find out what a midden rock was. What's a midden
What size
rock?
boxes was it?
Huh?
Like, is it small boxes?
Oh, they were just individual. There was
Okay.
enough that we
Okay.
could put them
Oh.
in.
Oh,
30
I
boxes.
see. I see.
There were no boxes out
Yeah.
there. No, that's a little.
No, but I mean, I wonder what size of box you were talking about.
Those size.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all, there may be a couple of them smaller, most of them about
Okay.
that size. So I wanted to know what the midden rocks were.
Mhm.
What's a midden rock? Midden rock are rocks prehistoric people used to cook their food on.
Ah.
And to understand how they cook their food, you have to understand they cook their food differently than you and I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you go out hunting or camping or picnicking in the ranch on the wilderness, probably what you do is you build a fire, then you put a circle of rocks around it and put a grill across that.
Right.
Probably how you cook your food if you go out in the wilderness. Prehistoric people didn't do anything like that. What's the main reason they didn't do it like that? There was no metal. They had no grill.
Well, right. Yeah.
They used rocks,
Yeah.
flat rocks that they would cook their food on. And did it a number of ways. One way was they dug a deep hole, and we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Dug a deep hole and kept a fire going in there all the time. Then they'd put a big rock on the fire,
Yeah.
and the rock would get warm. And then they put their food on that rock, cover it in grass, cover it with dirt, and so it'd sit in there for a couple of days. And it's kind of just like an oven.
Mhm.
Okay? Or sometimes they actually build a fire and put a rock right on top of the fire and put the food right on the rock. You've heard of some restaurants that say they do stone cooking?
Yeah.
They
Right.
already did that in 3000.
Right. Yeah.
They're way ahead of us. So anyway,
Old-fashioned
the
way.
problem with all that is that a rock cannot handle the heat and cool. Heat and cool, contraction, expansion. Eventually,
Yeah.
the rock will crack. So when a rock cracks, it
Ah.
generally cracks straight through
Yeah.
instead of at an angle. So that when it cracks straight through, it becomes identifiable.
Like
This
that.
This is a midden rock. This is a rock they found right by that restricted area. So I found a bunch of them, of course. Maybe it was part of another rock. Who knows? That long, that wide, and that thick that they put in the fire and cooked their food on.
And so they must have cut it out, the rocks themselves, or is it just rocks they would find
Just
around?
fine.
Yeah. And they would just crack on their own.
They
So.
had to find them or break them. They had no tools to make them. So
Yeah.
whatever they could find, I guess that long, anybody's guess, just a flat rock. You
Mhm.
know. So the problem is that was in 3000 BC. How did the archaeologists find that in 2001 AD?
Digging deep enough, or just I don't know.
When that rock would crack,
Yeah.
you'd think those guys clean it away, start over,
Yeah.
get a fresh rock.
No.
You have a charcoal grill?
No, but I've used
Do you
them.
know anybody that's cleaned the charcoal grill in the last 20 years?
No.
Probably not. Okay. We're just as lazy as these prehistoric guys were. They wouldn't clean that rock away. They just built another fire on top of it.
On top of it. Yeah.
Go get another rock
Yeah.
that wide and that thick and put it on there. What happens to that rock? It cracks too. Make a long story short, 30 generations later, a couple thousand years later, you're going to have a pile of midden rocks.
Yeah.
And that's what archaeologists are looking for.
So they found a whole bunch of
How
them.
come they came here in the first place?
Because they looked at U.S. Geological Survey maps and they said the prehistoric people traveled by river. There were no horses. They traveled by in canoes or a river.
Yeah.
Till they'd find a clear-flowing spring-fed creek like this one, and they'd go up and find a place to camp along that creek. And that's all anybody. We all need water. We can do without food a long time. We're not going to last long without water. So the first thing is get a fresh supply of water. So they looked at this creek and said, "You likely got nice place here, correct." Protection from the cliff and so forth. So that's why they looked here in the first place. Anyway, that's the reason. The finding rocks like this is the most common way to find a prehistoric site. Now, they came to us after about 4 months and said, "Okay, we're done." And I said, "Put all that dirt back in that hole." And then, just for the fun of it, they ran that bobcat closer to the hill, the cliff up there.
Yeah.
With a shovel, and they stumbled across buckets of bone.
Oh, wow.
Historic bones. This is a bison bone, dates about 3000 BC. And the question is, why were all the bones along the cliff and none out here where most of the camping is?
Well, because they would have been running them off the edge,
That's
right?
right? If you took those points and put that on a spear,
Yeah.
jamming that in a 1,500-pound bison, which is what they weigh to be like a mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way they could bring them down was stampede them off the cliff.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't kill them, but it would disable them
Yeah.
so they could get up and kill them. And where they did that for generations, for centuries, thousands of years. The setting was just right. Freshwater, cliff, place to run the buffalo. Archaeologists have nicknamed those places buffalo jumps. So if
Okay.
you've never seen an authentic buffalo jump, this is a buffalo jump. What you have to imagine, the Indians were sitting right here, kind of between this table and that restricted area sign, around the campfire stuff, and the outlook on top of the cliff, saw the buffalo come off the high country up there, the high country up there where we're doing the hunting now. That's why I can't take you up there. They come out this open prairie. So all the braves sitting here would go way upstream, come way around the backside of them. They're wild animals. They're going to stampede instantly. Stampede toward this cliff. Try to get as many of them to go over as it could. And actually, they liked the smaller ones, 400 or 500 pound calves rather than the animals.
Yeah.
Anyway, wherever it went down, they'd rush it, kill it, skin it, quarter it, bring the meat over here where the men was.
It looks like there's some meat around too, where the birds coming.
They're just looking.
Checking us out, seeing if we're dying.
So they'd in the case where the meat was on the bone, they'd roast it over the fire, ate the meat off the bone, and obviously threw the bone back. Makes it a special place. I'm told there's only 2 other known buffalo jumps in the entire state of Texas.
Really?
One's the state park.
Huh.
So
Where's the other one?
Is that why it's restricted? If you don't want people up
I have those are our signs, right? No, this is private property, so it's not. It's I have the signs up there to keep people from messing around.
Doing their own archaeology. Doing their own.
Yeah. Do you know what a mono and a matati is?
No.
No.
You know you've seen the big rocks that maybe have a hole ground in it,
Yeah.
and a rock.
Yeah.
They ground their.
Oh, they did the
Grains
flour
and
and stuff. Yeah, made their
they
tortillas or
ground
whatever.
Acorns. There was no flour and there was no corn.
Well, okay. Yeah.
They ground acorns and things like that. But anyway, the point is, we had a beautiful one here. It was a rock that high. It was big, and it took. It's hard for one person to lift it up, and I set it over here so people could see it.
Yeah.
They stole it. So.
Oh no.
I don't know where it is. So anyway, this makes this a special place.
Oh,